Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. Don't forget to leave a like. I don't know why I said it that way. And also to subscribe to the channel. A lot of people, I see it on my metrics, a lot of people who watch the channel are not subscribed. I knew that we'd get here eventually. I didn't assume it would be so quick. And I assume that the next leg of this race is going to be, far more dramatic than any of us could have ever actually expected. Bitcoin ETFs came onto the market with a fervor and an energy unlike anything we've ever seen before in our entire lives. If you didn't remember, didn't see when it was taking place earlier, because I know we have a lot of new people who are entering the market. Hello to you. Welcome to the game. The Bitcoin ETFs, almost said fastly, quickly became the strongest, bestest, amazingest ETFs in the entire world in like a good 1 or 2 month period. If you remember, out of 10,000 ETFs that launched, the Bitcoin ETFs were the best performing, as was BlackRock's, which is all they're black. You can't own the world and then not have the best performing ETF ever. So of course BlackRock's ETF was like going to be the absolute most amazing. I began personally to ring alarm bells around February, March, April because of the staggering amount of Bitcoin that they had begun to acquire. For those of you who are unaware or simply have forgotten, as I always state, and I say this for reference because I want you to remember these words in the future when you realize that there is no Bitcoin left for you and your family. That Bitcoin is for the masses. Bitcoin is for 8 billion people on the planet and not just necessarily for the richest people who already basically own everything on the planet. So as the rich get richer, they're basically doing so because of Bitcoin. The expectations that we are seeing and hearing about, not even talking about the $100,000 Bitcoin, the expectations are within the next 8 months that Bitcoin will be over 6 figures, around $300,000 to $500,000 per coin. The other expectations are that by the year 2029, the year after the next halving, is that we will have a $1 million plus Bitcoin, not even talking about the 2033 price predictions of a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, $11 million Bitcoin as well. The rich know what is going to make them richer, and they're buying all of it. The illusion, my dear friend, is that there's enough Bitcoin to go around. You continuously hear news of people buying, but you're not really paying attention to the actual numbers, which is why I always try and give numbers in my videos so that no one seems confused or surprised when we actually hear that all of this stuff is actually taking place. We're at the point in history now where I think a lot of people, I wouldn't say the masses, a lot of people know what Bitcoin is. They've heard of it. But a lot of people are also not into Bitcoin. They don't own it. They don't have it. They might not even want it because they really don't understand it. Even a lot of people within the cryptocurrency space also don't own Bitcoin. And I think that's going to be one of the largest catalysts of anger and sadness in the future, realizing that you had the chance over a long period of time to acquire something that would have actually given you and your family richness, wealth, and or generational wealth. I think that's going to hit people quite hard. That's not a a joke. It's more of a what's going to actually happen. We see this now in the crypto space a little bit. You see it during bear markets when prices go down. People go, oh my gosh, I wish I had bought more. And then the prices go down and then they continue not to buy more until prices go back up. It's a bit of a mistake. The news that we got is what I expected. And I know that it's only going to get crazier. We heard and have been hearing for the last 2 or 3 weeks, there was a recent pickup, if you will, in the inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs. And namely, this became news because they were pretty high numbers. Over the course of the summer, we would hear that there was an outflow from the Bitcoin ETFs collectively of around 14 million or so dollars. On the same day, there would be an inflow of 96 million. For some reason, only the negative news made the news. And a lot of people thought that there was something wrong with the ETFs. I'm not understanding what's going on. That was like a real thing. If you remember, it was 90 days. The entire summer, everyone kept on pretending that something was wrong with Bitcoin. And I was like, no, they're still accumulating. But there were outflows. And I was like, okay. So as the numbers rose even further, there was recently an inflow of $893 million in one day. And then people were like, that's a lot of monies. And they realized that out of the 893 million, 870 million came just from BlackRock alone. With that purchase, the 9 total Bitcoin US spot ETFs jumped above officially holding 1 million Bitcoin. This was mentioned by ETF analyst Eric Balchunas, and he stated, BlackRock's significant inflow into the IBIT ETF has just raised the level of US spot ETFs above 1 million BTC, end quote. The significance here, I'm pretty sure you know what's coming, is that there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. We will not see the final Bitcoin until the year 2140. It sounds sci-fi because it's far in the future. It is believed that around 4 to 6 million Bitcoin are lost and gone forever. This currently sits us around 13 to 14 million Bitcoin that are actively available for 8 billion people on the planet. The problem with that is we heard and know from news stories and this channel that 91% of Bitcoin is now held by the wealthiest people on the planet. We can see the wallet addresses and where this Bitcoin has been going. I think a million something Bitcoin that's left on crypto exchanges is not liquid. It belongs to people who are simply holding some of their Bitcoin on crypto exchanges collectively. The other part is that companies like MicroStrategy continue to buy more Bitcoin. They recently announced that they're going to be raising billions of dollars to buy even more Bitcoin. They themselves have 250,000 Bitcoin. The ETFs, 9 companies in total, in less than a year, have 1 million Bitcoin. When they continue to buy more Bitcoin, and that number goes to 1.2, 1.5, 1.7, and then 2 million Bitcoin, that will probably be the literal point of no return as far as there not being any more for the masses. I know that some of you think I'm exaggerating, or you might even think I'm a little bit kooky. People are going to have a disastrously hard time in the future if Bitcoin takes off. If Bitcoin reaches these numbers that we've been hearing about for the last couple of years, and you don't have any, you are going to be royally messed up. Do you understand what's happening? The fact that this news came, I expect certain things. Like if all of a sudden like tennis balls started raining from the sky, I would expect people to run in fear. If there was like a free giveaway from every Apple store, I would assume there would be long lines. Everyone still with me here? I assumed that even within the cryptocurrency space, that hearing that a handful of companies are now holding over 1 million of the rarest asset that we have on the planet, that there would have been not fervor, but some kind of like extra electricity in the air, like almost like actually palpable. Like you're walking and you're like, ow, it's so electric in this place. Oh, that's because they're buying up all the Bitcoin. I think people have a weird misconception. This is my idea. Weird misconception about what's currently taking place. Not only are we witnessing the wealth transfer, as I've been saying, the idea in the future, buddy boy, basically, if you don't own it, you're going to miss out. If you don't have an asset, if you don't have any assets, you're going to miss out. They're buying all of it. We're not at the year 2030 yet. If this is what they're doing in the year of the halving, I can't imagine the madness that's going to ensue in 2025. They got 1 million when the market was lull, when only like a handful of big companies were like, all right, let's go buy some. What happens during the actual like bull run? Bitcoin's at $125,000 and retail jumps back in. I assume they're gonna have 2 to 2.5 million Bitcoin. This is like, it's not even a perfect storm. It's like a perfect hurricane for prices next year. This is probably going to propel us to the $500,000 Bitcoin. This company knows what they're doing. None of this is random, haphazard, butterfly effect. Maybe if we do A, then B happens. No, this is a very well thought out plan for exactly where they're trying to move the market. Imagine we were probably mathematically, we were or are probably going to hit a $150,000, $200,000 Bitcoin if this million Bitcoin had never actually been purchased, just based off of previous market movements. We were probably going to double the previous all-time high, if not 2.5 times it. That gets us to 150 to 200. 1 million Bitcoin off the table? That's also not including the other companies and people and countries who are also buying up Bitcoin. I expected this would be big news. I expected people would talk about this. I expected this would be a topic of conversation. If this is what they did in 2024, what does 2027 look like? How much less Bitcoin? Is there any Bitcoin left at all on any market? Because at that point, the companies who are hungry for it, you have to go to a crypto exchange. There's no real in between. You need to get it from somewhere. In 2029, do these ETFs hold 4 million Bitcoin? Has BlackRock also gone over 1 million Bitcoin? Can we calculate on our hands, 10 companies are holding 11 million Bitcoin? What happens in 2035 to the price of Bitcoin? Where's Bitcoin in 2042? Has every other asset collapsed price-wise comparative to Bitcoin? Have we already entered hyper-Bitcoinization? They did this in a year, less than a year. Yeah. The article goes on talking about U.S. interest in it and how we're seeing more people into the markets. Good. I'm glad. If this is going somewhere, I want you to be a part of it. If Bitcoin goes to several $1 million, I legitimately want you and your family to have a slice of the pie, a couple of crumbs, something. BlackRock is already worth $11 trillion. Oh boy, things are getting interestinger. I do hope you got something from the video or go get something after the video. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. This is crazy, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.